had so many people contacting me. Nice.
We're not doing 5 subdivisions.
It's on the other side of Mr. Johnson.
Waiting on Mr. Webb.
No, he's on vacation, so. I hereby call the August 1st, 2018 meeting of the Historic Preservation Review Board to order. Mr. Boswell, if you will, with the roll, please.
Mr. Weaver?
Here.
Mr. Neese?
Here.
Mr. Geisler?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. The agenda, one of the items that's been sent to you all previously is the approval of the minutes for both the June 6th and the July the 11th. I trust everyone had an opportunity to take a look at it. Any comments?
Want to go separately or together?
We'll do them separately because I was not here on the 11th. We're not here on the 6th.
Don't know that we'll be able to vote on the 11th, since there's only 2 here that were.
Okay. That's right, Mr. Weaver.
I'm sorry?
Okay, no. We cannot vote on the 11th, the minutes of the July the 11th, because we only had 2 members
Okay.
that were here at that time, so we'll table that and then push that to the September meeting. Any comments on the minutes of the June 6th meeting?
I move we accept it as presented.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second to accept the minutes as presented. Mr. Boswell?
Mr. Weaver?
Aye.
Mr. Neese?
Abstain.
Mr. Geisler?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye.
I have a comment about the July 11, even though we're not going to vote on it.
Yes, sir.
On page 3, at the bottom of the page where it says the alcoves would be covered by in Hardy Board, that's actually a brand name and it's spelled H-A-R-D-I-E. If you want to be a generic, it's fiber cement. And then on the last page, typo that I've made many times, so that's why it jumped out at me. At the top of the page, it says they would like to sell the lots, and that should be S-E-L-L instead of S-A-L-E. I don't know how many times I've done that.
Thank you, Mr. Weaver.
I'd like to welcome everyone here to the meeting. Thank you all for coming. The Historic Preservation Review Board was set up by Town Council several years ago. Abingdon was one of the first municipalities in the state of Virginia to enact old and historic guidelines to protect the historic nature of the fabric of the town. This is a volunteer board with the exception of Mr. Webb, who is our member of Town Council. The rest of us are volunteers who are appointed by Town Council. The way we will proceed is we will go down the agenda just in order. You all, if you would, whenever you're called, just step up to the podium, tell us a little bit about your application, and then if we have any questions, we'll ask the questions and then take action from there. First item on the agenda is certificate of appropriateness for Greco's Grill and Cafe. Mr. Ahmed,
Yes, sir.
how are you doing this
Doing
evening?
good, how are you all?
Doing fine. Can you tell us a little bit about your application?
So we opening a Greek restaurant in 217 West Main Street, and we were asking about the signs. We actually going to have the same signs that was on the building, just changing to our name. So it's 3 signs over there, And just changing the name basically. Nothing else, same colors, same everything, same
Okay.
materials.
Are there 3 signs or 2 signs?
It's actually 2 signs, and then the other one is just letters, large letters, wrote as a soda shop, and then we going to change it to Greekos. So this is the third one I'm talking about. The soda shop, we just changed these letters to make it the same type, everything, just to be Greekos.
And you're gonna have this sign?
And
where-
then this sign, and then the other side is another sign, exactly the same one as this one here.
Okay. The only question I have
Yes, sir.
in taking a look, and sign limitations do not apply. We have a typical 4 square feet
Okay.
limitation, but that doesn't apply to hotels, theaters, restaurants, and churches. And I'm not sure if I've overlooked something, since I was on vacation. Limitation of 2 signs per building.
And the idea was that it's already the signs with there, so what we doing just like change the names. So that why we get to get the 3 ones. When we took the letters from the wall here, it's just big holes on it, so it will looks better if we
Mhm.
hide it with the letters instead of it just to be like,
The letters that you're gonna put back up, what are they gonna say,
Greekos only,
Greekos on?
just Greekos, yes sir.
Are they gonna be the same size as those letters?
We'll take exactly the same, like amount. We can say just like Greekos or Greekos and the small letters grill and cafe. This one we thought about. But would be exactly the same amount that was there. Just to hide these holes behind the screws made.
I was on the board when Doug Ellis redid the shop, and I'm thinking that there was an existing sign, or there was some reason why we allowed.
I was gonna ask if that was grandfathered in.
I think it was, I don't remember the specifics, but that's my recollection of why it's that way. I think there was already something there that we continued on.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if, where he has the soda shop, there was already a sign something, he did the same thing that this gentleman was talking about doing it, I don't remember.
Because I think Ellis Pharmacy used to be,
I think maybe that was what was on there,
correct.
and then he just changed it to that.
Any other comments or questions? I'm going to look at one ordinance real quickly. I apologize.
It's okay, take your time.
The older I get, my memory is not what it should be. You'll get there one day, hopefully. There's provision in the ordinance, and this is correct, to where I'll go to 4-1 or 5-0. We can actually. You all have me, the guidelines specify 2 signs, but like Mr. Giesler pointed out, that building has been there for a long time, and chances are the other sign was grandfathered in. Because I think it used to say Ellis Pharmacy where it says soda shop right now. The board has the discretion either by 4-1 or 5-0, to deviate from the guidelines. The guidelines are just that, they're guidelines. So, any questions relative to the signage?
Where's the little sign under? above
This
the
is
bed?
something that just Doug voted to say exclusive parking lot or parking lot for Ellis Soda Show, but we planning to take these ones off, so we
Okay.
make people happy again.
So will you take that one off, will you just have the 2 signs, or will you have 3 in addition?
It's two, and then in the other side of the building is one.
And there's one there now.
And actually, we taking just exactly the same board, just to flip them, like just turn them over and make our signs on it.
Well, I would move in light of the existing signage, and that they're just replicating what's there, and the length of time the signage in there, that we approve the request as, we grant the certificate of appropriateness.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I second.
I have a motion and a second, any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Boswell?
Mr. Weaver?
Aye.
Mr. Neese?
Aye.
Mr. Geezer?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you so much, appreciate it.
Good luck.
Thanks. Have a good day.
You too. The next item on the agenda, persnickety, Ms.
Hi.
Evers.
Okay, well, we're moving to 203 West Main Street, and there's a children's shop there now called Pretty Little Things. They're gonna be moving to the other side of the building, on the other side of the doorway, and so we're gonna be taking their space several days after they vacate. So we're putting up new signage, and this will be the sign that's gonna be suspended from the, right up on the, yeah, on that,
Mhm.
under that awning. That's gonna pretty much be it.
Looks great.
Doesn't that look pretty? Wouldn't you like this on your building? And that's about all there is to it. I'm gonna do some not sandblasting, but power washing of the sidewalk and the brick and whatnot in the front, just to give it a little bit of a snappy look, and put some flower pots out there too.
I move that we, well, if anybody has a look.
Well, and again, the only question I have is whether or not, and you all help me out, signage on the glass windows actually qualifies as signage or is to be classified as signage.
I don't think we've ever considered that to be.
I don't, personally, I do not consider it signage. We typically, it says the face, the facade of the building, like the mountain.
The guidelines specify
freestanding.
freestanding signs and things of this nature. They do not, to the best of my recollection, address signage.
So are you gonna hang it with a chain or?
Jerry's sign's gonna hang it, probably from some sort of a, like, linkage, I'm sure. I don't think that it really the building lends itself to a yard arm type of sign.
Jessica Atkins says, put a note here, sign to hang from hooks from canopy over the door.
And that's all.
All right.
I move that we grant the certificate of appropriateness.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Boswell.
Mr. Weaver? Mr. Neese? Aye. Mr. Geezer?
Aye.
Mr. Johnson?
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We do forget drafting at Christmas time, too, just saying. Have a good evening.
You too.
You do the same.
You too, man.
All right. I apologize. The next item on the agenda is the COA for Bird Properties. Mr. Belcher, your representative.
Good evening.
Good evening. I believe we're at another sign as well.
Yes, the topic of the evening.
That's it.
So we're opening a new insurance agency soon. And I had my trustee assistant look into the regs, and we believe that this would fit what the requirements are.
Okay, I have two further, I don't know if these are printed off from something
Yeah,
else.
Those
are
were-
examples.
Those were
Those are
examples of
um,
some print that we wanted to put on the glass.
Oh, okay.
That's not what we're not gonna be a
Okay.
coffee house.
Okay.
It's just a type of print.
Covering multiple fronts there.
I was confused about that. I didn't want to be persnickety on hers, but I thought this would be big.
And Jerry's is doing, who is doing the sign?
I'm not sure, it's someone that Linda Wise has used in the past. I think they did, Shady, what is it called Shady Business, or the Lamp Shade,
All right.
same folks that did that
And
sign.
the only reason I ask is that Jerry's is familiar with the material.
Sure.
And now you've specified polymer material, which is acceptable. I'm sorry.
I can't visualize the building. I don't have any problem with the sign, but I can't visualize the building.
It's the old Watson Buddington Law Office between Morgan's and,
I have a
Oh,
picture
okay.
of the facade
Sure.
if you want to see it.
Yeah.
And I know where, I saw some guys doing some work yesterday, putting carpet down, I think, or something right at the entrance.
that's it.
Seems to fit all the guidelines. Any comments?
Is that, it's gonna be a two-sided sign?
It is.
Well, I move we accept it as presented.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Boswell.
Mr. Weaver,
Aye.
Mr. Neese,
Aye.
Mr. Deaver,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank
Have a good evening, fellas.
Good.
Thanks a lot. Have a nice evening.
Is that a record?
Oh, I've got a number of guidelines that we need to go over.
Oh,
Okay, cool.
I'm kidding.
We're willing.
No, but I appreciate that, I do. Is there any other matter? Any other
I just
business?
wanted to give you all a heads up on Ann Hutton's property.
Which property?
Ann Hutton's.
Hutton's property
Okay.
on Valley. We have taken the liberty to send her violation letter concerning the property. That was directed by the planning commission. She had a tree removed and was just laying there for weeks at a time on her property, so she has removed that. She's also in violation of the maintenance code, so we've written her up for several maintenance violations concerning the steps, her shutters, the guttering. She has had some work done on the guttering and the fascia. She had significant
I saw
on the
that.
fascia. Of course, she did not come before the board for those types of repairs, but we are getting some things done over there.
Did she, I mean, I guess y'all are watching what she's doing there, is it, she's replacing like with like and doing what she's supposed to do?
Yes. She hasn't particularly replaced anything, but she had the gutters cleaned out. She had some fascia that was rotted that she replaced the boards, and they've been painted white like existing. We're keeping our eye on her as far as the steps are concerned. That's a big concern for us. And also the handrail there. I want to discuss with you all. We've been instructed by the planning commission and by the county manager to repair that handrail. Is that something that you all would like to see come before you all?
That is part of the sidewalk?
Yes, sir.
Um,
I mean, from what I understand.
It's just a pipe right now, and
It's basically just piping. I don't think there's money in the budget to replace it. That's what we eventually would like to do, and if we do that, I will for sure make them come.
If this is just a maintenance item.
Just a
Yeah.
maintenance item, we're just
It's
gonna do some
waivable.
repair on it,
Yeah.
to secure it. It's improved.
It's got a little bit of detail to it,
It does,
so
a little bit,
if it was ever replaced, then I think I'd like to
Yeah.
yeah.
sure that they'll replace it as it is.
Yeah. Just wanted to give you
Not
a
a
heads up
lead
on
on.
what we've got going on.
Yes,
It's
I
like
do.
the precious stuff's property.
How much do you have, what kind of list do you have on her as far as what you need her to start? with?
Unfortunately, the maintenance code doesn't give you a whole lot of leeway, and it's getting shorter. I expect that the new update, state of Virginia's way behind on the maintenance code. Should have been updated in 2015, we're still in 2012, so I would assume that the 2018 still has not came out. They haven't adopted 2015, but I have heard through training and through the BBCOA meetings that we've been attending that it's just gonna get smaller and smaller. So it's gonna take away a lot of what we can do as far as an existing structure is concerned. But we have, again, any significant rot that we see, we've written her up on that. Protective treatment as far as her painting and maintaining the shutters. I'm gonna try to get her to do that. I'm gonna try to get her to fix the steps, because there's some rot on the steps as well. But we're making headway, we just gotta stay out.
If she would just have somebody basically take down a lot of the landscaping where you could get some air and light
Yeah.
to the structure.
Got the same problem on our property on Main Street. You can't see the house anymore, pretty much, because of the.
At the White
Talking about
House.
the white one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was white.
And you know, and I feel like, you know, that was intentional, that way, because she was written up before, and they made her replace the roof, so she has replaced the roof, it's got a nice metal roof on it now, but that's about the only thing you see in the house. And it's hard. for-
Foxwoods have taken
It's
over.
hard for enforcement action when you can't actually see the property. And we have to do it from the right way.
But you do.
You set foot on that property.
Yeah. Well, it's a, you know, it's funny, because we are allowed by Virginia code to go to the front door, but you can't even get to the front door on that Pittman property because of the.
Is it that grown up?
Yeah.
Foxwoods,
Wow.
Foxwoods have taken,
Yeah, it's like-
absolutely
Isn't that
taken over.
isn't that the judge, is that where she grew up, or?
I don't know the history of where she grew up, but, I think he lived on Glenview.
Yeah.
But they own property
Oh, yeah, they own property everywhere.
all over the county,
Mhm.
so. Well, thank you. Please keep us posted. If there's no further business, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. I've got a motion and a second. Mr. Boswell?
Mr. Weaver,
Uh,
Mr. Neese,
Aye.
Mr. Geisler,
Aye.
Mr. Johnson.
Aye.